right now we have three amazing gentlemen sitting here that we're going to talk to, right? Robert Pezzano, he is the chair of the Schenectady School District Athletic Hall of Fame reunion and inductee dinner. Did I get that all in there?
Yes.
Couldn't get a shorter title, huh? And we have Tom Mossey next to him, and he is an inductee. He's a basketball player. And next to him is my old friend here, Bill Rice. He's the was the Gazette reporter for the ski column that they had. And we're going to be talking about a very interesting event that happened with Bill. Bill will tell us about. So tell us about the event that we're coming up.
This year's dinner will be on September 21st right here at Proctor's. We will be inducting 3 individuals. Rick DiCamillo, we actually have his collage, behind here. He was an outstanding runner at Mount Pleasant High School in the early 50s, an All-American, a long-distance runner, won 5 major cross-country meets, 3 in New York City, set a record in the grout run locally, ran the 2nd fastest scholastic mile in America his senior year, and was New York State champion, setting a record. Went on to the University of Notre Dame where he had a stellar career.
Is that amazing?
Yeah, he's pretty amazing. He will be here. He's in North Carolina. He's a resident of North Carolina.
Wow.
He will be here for the dinner, but he's unfortunately not here this morning.
Yeah.
Our artist, Tony Cristello, creates these collages,
They're
one
wonderful,
for each inductee.
wonderful collage.
So,
I was looking at it, and if you, it's not just paper stuck there. They really have. It's raised and it's well
he
well
puts
put
a lot
together.
of time and effort into it.
Yeah.
Tom Mossey will be another inductee. He is here with us this morning. Tom played on 3 Knott Terrace High School basketball teams. Each team won the Class A title, won the sectional title, and won the intersectional title, which is as far as you could go in those days.
Wow.
His senior year, he scored 38 points, which was a new school record. Prior to his senior year, he was selected as one of the top 22 players in New York State and one of the top players in the East. He went on from Knott Terrace and went to Syracuse University, where he started for 3 years on the basketball team. And he was, when he graduated, he was 13th on their career scoring list, and he still ranks in the top 100 Syracuse scores.
So we're talking about him like he's not here, but he really is. He's sitting
here,
right here. So anyway, Tom, so what does it feel like to be inducted?
Well, quite frankly, I'm honored to be able to have this nomination, and I'm happy to be able to be here to represent my my fellow teammates, because if it wasn't for them, you know, there's no way I could have achieved
There's
these.
no I in team, right?
They were just great, and we had 3 great teams, and we had a lot of great players.
And then you went on to Syracuse after that.
And then I went on to Syracuse, yeah.
Okay, and do you play basketball now?
I did up until about maybe 10 years ago.
I find that basketball players just have their court games out in the park or somewhere.
Well, if you have that much experience playing basketball, you never lose your eye.
Yeah.
What you lose is your legs.
Well, that's true.
So,
That's true.
You know, you can go anywhere on the court and, you know, hit a bucket.
Still get those 3-pointers?
Oh yeah. Well, in our day, we didn't have 3-pointers.
No, I know they didn't.
That's right.
Yeah, I remember that. I was a cheerleader. I remember those games. I'll tell you, they were fun to watch. Bill, over there, skiing is your game.
Yes.
So tell us about Brenda.
It's actually Dot Hoyt-Nebel is the 3rd inductee.
Dot Hoyt-Nebel.
Okay.
Brenda's
Who was Brenda?
Brenda Adams is, we're going to have a tribute to her.
Oh, okay. See,
She passed away earlier this year, and she was a pioneer in girls' sports.
We have the photos of Brenda. Well, let's go through the photos. Why don't we do that? And
The
that way
3rd inductee, well, here's Brenda. She, that's her coaching at Saratoga High School, and she will be inducted into their Athletic Hall of Fame later in September. And we're honoring her. Unfortunately, she passed away earlier this year. It's a tribute.
Okay, nice.
Those are pictures of Brenda. Once again, Brenda.
A lot of life in
That's
her.
Tom at Syracuse. And by the way, Tom had a 20-year career in the Marines after Syracuse and taught in the school district for a year. That's Rick DiCamillo as a runner at Notre Dame.
Right behind us.
Yep. And that is Dot Hoyt-Nebel. That's
Okay,
the
I got the right
skier
one.
that's the woman who's being inducted. She's a 1921 graduate of the original Schenectady High School, made the Olympic team in 1940, and those Olympics were called off. I don't know if you, that's the flyer we have, and I don't know if you have one more picture maybe of Ken Johnson, who, yes,
Yeah,
that's
there.
Ken right there. We're going to pay tribute to him as well. He passed away earlier this year, and we will have a tribute to him. He was a four-sport letter winner at Knott Terrace, went on to Syracuse, played baseball in the Dodger organization, came back to Schenectady, won a couple titles at St. Columbus, state titles, small school Catholic titles, and then became the director of health, physical education, and in the
so
district.
it's nice that you're paying some homage.
Right.
Bill, what happened in the Olympics that year that she couldn't perform?
Well, the Olympics were canceled. They were supposed to originally be in Japan. They were canceled there for one reason or another, and then
Was this because of World War II?
World War II, exactly, yeah. So she had qualified the year before for the Olympics. But I think the interesting thing about Dot Hoyt-Nebel is that she was a self-taught skier. And she first skied in Central Park, Schenectady.
Well, there's that nice little hill there. They used to use it for sledding or something.
Yeah. Well, see, back then nobody skied. Very few people skied, and she was probably maybe 10 or 12, and she saw some Norwegian skiing. Went home, told her father about it, and he went out and bought her a pair of skis, and so she taught herself to ski. Then she started racing. She joined the Winter Sports Club, Schenectady Winter Sports Club, started racing up at North Creek and stuff, but nobody really knew about her, except kind of locally. She was known as the skiing schoolmarm because she was teaching at Mount Pleasant High School at the time.
Schoolmarm, oh my God.
And so
Are we dating us stuff?
she was 35 years old. She went up to a race at Big Bromley in Vermont, and she beat everybody, beat all the girls, most of the guys. And there was a guy there named Roland Palmedo who had close connections with the U.S. ski team. And this would have been 1937. So he called the head of the ski team over in Europe and said, there's a girl here from Schenectady who's better than most of the girls on your team. And so she went over. She joined the team. Her high school principal, what was her name, Bob? His name.
George Spain, I believe.
George Spain. Gave her a leave of absence. So she went over, joined the team. There were about 12 girls on the team. She worked her way up to be number 4 by the end of the season.
Oh my.
Next year, she tried out for the U.S. ski team, made the U.S. ski team, but again, unfortunately, that was canceled, so she couldn't compete in the Olympics. But then she started to race locally again, and she raced up at Pico Peak, won a big race up there, and then eventually started teaching at Pico.
Well, that's interesting because she was self-taught.
Self-taught.
And yet she was able to teach then.
Yeah,
so she knew how to do it. Well, she was a teacher to begin with, so.
One of her first pupils was Andrea Mead, who later became Andrea Mead Lawrence, who later in 1952 won 2 gold medals in the Olympics, and they became very, very close friends. So she got to the Olympics in a way, but through a pupil.
Yeah, because once the time passes, sometimes the opportunity is gone to get on there to do that. But you've got some pretty interesting people that you're.
Yeah, this group, they were selected from about 165 nominees, and it's a very, very strong, deep list. And I'll mention that Dot Hoyt-Nebel is also in the United States Ski Hall of Fame. So she is, a remarkable story. And Bill's been wonderful at researching this and giving us information.
Yeah.
And we just feel so blessed to have so many
You're
great
lucky
athletes.
to have Bill that is so good at doing all that research.
Yep.
And Tom, are you from this area, Tom? Or originally you were.
Originally I was.
Of course.
Graduated Syracuse and I taught school in Schenectady for 1 year.
Oh, did you?
And hated it. And decided to do something more exciting, so
You mean it wasn't exciting enough?
Well, I wanted to teach in high school, and they didn't have any openings, and I wanted to teach in junior high school, no openings, so I ended up teaching in elementary school, and would you believe that one of my students was Bob Pezzano?
Oh, get out.
Yes.
Oh, my
Small
God.
world,
Was he a good student?
No, he's good. And then I went in the military, and not initially I went in just for 4 years, but I decided I liked it, and I ended up staying for 20 years.
Yep.
And then upon leaving the Marine Corps, I decided to go back to teaching, and I taught ROTC for 24 years
Oh my
up in
goodness.
Elizabeth, New Jersey,
Okay.
and loved every minute of it.
Yes.
And retired from everything in 2002. And now I reside part-time in Virginia, but most of the time in the winter, I'm in Florida.
Okay.
And in the summer, I'm up here in the Adirondacks.
So you gotta think Virginia's warm enough in the winter? I'm
Oh,
not sure.
essentially, it's about the same
Oh,
the
okay.
same type of temperature you have up here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, it does snow down there. We do
Okay.
get the seasons.
Oh, well, come up here for a winter and let's
Oh.
see if it's exactly
Well.
the same. We had some kind of rough winters here and there. This is a great event coming up. One more time, when is it, where is it, and how can people get tickets?
The event is here at Proctor's on September 21st. That's a Monday evening. There'll be a reception at 4:30 in Key Hall, dinner at 6:15 in the GE Theater, and the induction ceremonies will follow, as will the tributes. Best way to probably get tickets is call 346-9297 for ticket information. That's 346-9297.
Okay, and I'll put that number on
Thank you.
on Facebook when I put it.
And
out
I'll also
there.
mention that Rick DiCamillo was career Air Force.
Okay.
So we have two career
Two
military men
that's
and
okay.
highly decorated.
Yeah,
So
so I'm sure they brought a lot of prestige to for Schenectady wherever they go, right? Exactly. Thank you both, all three of you, for being here. It's a pleasure to meet you, and it's so nice to meet you, Tom. And know
Thank
that
you
you're
so much.
going
It was
to
an
be an
honor.
inductee. And Bill, it's always good to see you as well. And
Thank you.
come
Thank-
back next year.
thank you for
too.
having
And we're going to take a quick break. And if you want, we're going from sports to music because we're going to be talking about Pete Seeger. So please stay tuned.
Notre Dame, where he had a stellar career.
Is that amazing?
Yeah, he's pretty amazing. He will be here. He's in North Carolina. He's a resident of North Carolina.
Wow.
He will be here for the dinner, but he's unfortunately not here this morning.
Yeah.
Our artist, Tony Cristello, creates these collages,
They're
one for each
wonderful, wonderful
inductee.
collage. I was
So,
looking at it, and if you, it's not just paper stuck there. They really
No,
have, it's raised and it's well
he
put
puts a lot
together.
of
Yeah.
time and effort into it.
Yeah. Right now we have three amazing gentlemen sitting here that we're going to talk to, right? Robert Pezzano, he is the chair of the Schenectady School District Athletic Hall of Fame reunion and inductee dinner. Did I
Yes.
get that all in there?
Yes.
Couldn't get a shorter title, huh? And we have Tom Mossey next to him, and he is an inductee.
Tom Mossey will be another inductee. He is here with us this morning. Tom played on 3 Inductees High School basketball teams. Each team won the Class A title, won the sectional title, and won the intersectional title, which is as far as you could go in those days.
Wow.
His senior year, he scored 38 points, which was a new school record. Prior to his senior year, he was selected as one of the top 22 players in New York State, and one of the top players, 3 individuals. Rick DiCamillo, we actually have his
That's
collage,
behind
yes,
us, yeah.
behind here. He was an outstanding runner at Mount Pleasant High School in the early 50s, an All-American, a long-distance runner, won 5 major cross-country meets,
Wow.
3 in New York City, set a record in the grout run locally, ran the 2nd fastest scholastic mile in America his senior year, and was New York State champion, setting a record. Went on to the University of North.
He's a basketball player, and next to him is my old friend here, Bill Rice. He's the was the Gazette reporter, for the ski column that they had. And we're going to be talking about a very interesting event that happened with Bill. Bill will tell us about. So tell us about the event that we're coming up.
This year's dinner will be on September 21st right here at Proctor's. We will be inducting